Hi.
Hello! We're back with Cove Time. We're gonna have a small date today on this Tuesday.
On this Tuesday.
Tuesday. Hold on. There I am. Okay, let's get the game on screen. Uh, we'll probably be doing like just one little story. I think one story a stream is like a good pace. It's like,
Hmm.
and then I don't mix up everything together. Where the hell? Also very sleepy. I woke up from like a totally not all day nap because I was at work.
So eepy.
Oh my god, I'm like, I can barely see my sources. Okay, PC, our life. Okay, I'm sure it's the right resolution, but I can't check because it does that. Okay, right. I don't know why it does that. It's so silly. Okay. Continue. Hopefully the volume's good. Okay. Okay, this looks fine. Alright, sweet. Alright, what are we feeling today? So we got hang, errands, talks, late shift, serendipity, boating, and happiness. What feels like a fourth like story we should go through here?
What if you just close your eyes and hover and see which one you land on?
Right. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and keep like
Okay.
I guess doing this, and then you tell me like you say a word that tells me to stop. Okay.
Okay. Stop.
Okay, I was at the edge of the screen, so I guess hang it is. This is it.
Let's go with hang. That looks like a crepe.
Yeah, there's a crepe. I hope we get crepes. Oh my god, I want crepes.
Me too.
I don't remember the last time I had a crepe. I like the savory crepes the most.
I like the sweet crepes.
I'm old and like sweet shit is like it hurts my tummy.
Understandable.
Stars had magically aligned and somehow everyone was free today, but it was more than just luck. You owed it to all to Miranda's determination. She set things up over several phone calls to find the perfect window to hit the beach. You couldn't wait to meet up with. Who's Terry again? I think Terry's the other friend we went to Chinese with, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we could just like say Baxter didn't. No, we all go. You could just be like, Baxter didn't fucking come with us. He's not part of our group. Coordinating schedules have been especially rough lately, but you didn't let that stop you from organizing your grand plan. You wanted your new friend to be included in all the fun. After a bit of messaging with others, you had brought up the possibility of adding Baxter to the mix. No one objected to your request, so Terry swiftly put the phone number she snagged at the beginning of the summer to good use. Baxter had been flattered to be thought of that early in the planning stage. Funnily enough, he'd been the easiest one to account for despite being far and away the newest guy on the block. Baxter was able to rearrange his schedule to whatever everyone else needed, and you and Terry relayed the remaining details to Cove and Miranda later. Your hopes were high. Almost everyone knew each other to varying degrees, but this would be Miranda and Baxter's first time meeting. And yet, you weren't that worried. Deep down, you had a pretty good feeling that they'd get along once they got to spend a little time together. Oh, I'm excited to see how they interact. That was where things stood. Baxter would be coming by your room. I mean, he doesn't need to be in my room. Cove is in my room. Nodding along to Cove's story, you ran through the mental checklist in the back of your mind. Baxter didn't have everyone's numbers, so keeping him updated on changes was the circled most important thing you had to keep track of. If anything came up, you would have to run down the street and tell him, but there was still a number of things that you needed to get done, hopefully before that. Oh, okay, hi. Where's your shirt, bud? Cove sat on your windowsill and kicked one of his legs into the air idly. He already had his swimsuit on, and his towel was bundled under his arm in a misshapen ball. He'd shown up earlier that morning with a surprising amount of enthusiasm. He was chatting as you caught up to his preparation.
But seriously, I couldn't find my swimsuit this morning. I looked everywhere. It had disappeared. I had no idea what I was gonna do.
Oh my god, and then what? I don't know. Isn't he wearing a swimsuit? Did I miss something? What happened to all your swimsuits? I know that's not your only one. Cove looked away and shrugged.
I might have some laundry to do.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't know why I was in the bathroom when I never put it there.
He gave a small smile and readjusted the towel in his arms. You now could see that it had been folded at some point and then rolled up and carried without much care.
I'm so glad.
But I'm just glad I found it. It would have been crappy to lose my favorite trunks.
It was nice to see Cove so happy and comfortable in what he was wearing, You walked over to your dresser and mused about how you had picked out your own swimsuit. Luckily, since you were average height, you only needed to worry about finding the right size when it came to the shape of your body. I'm slender, I guess. And like, I'm very soft, I guess. I don't have a lot of muscles. There was a smooth feel to your build without any hard muscles, even if you flexed. Okay, I can flex a bit of muscle. Alright, hold on. Are we going back? Okay, wait. A little bit. I can flex and there's stuff there. Your build was toned. I'm not toned either, though. Okay, now I'm soft. I'm very soft. You'd become heavier than what you used to be when you were younger. You had grown over the years and fleshed out a little more.
Are you okay?
Like,
You alright?
oh yeah, I was thinking about some things. About
What
how
things?
soft I am. Just myself and my body, really. I'm very soft. His eyebrows rose at your admission of self-reflection.
And what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think of who you were? You considered your identity further. Oh, that's cool. Huh. I guess I am, but it's like I don't call myself that. Different facets to it. I feel like that's gender fluid. It was more than a single binary choice you made, but you were you, and that was what mattered. And you had a flat chest, having never developed breasts because of the hormone therapy you started in the past. Oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go! Oh, that's so sad. Like, I know it happens, but it's like, oh, you got hormone therapy, and it's like, oh, I wish I had booba. You generally wear a padded bra over your chest. No, that's cool. I love that. I love to see it. People had a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form. It shaped their self-image. Yeah, sometimes. Sure. It was a fact you realized and faced. There was no misunderstanding of what you felt. The body you were in just wasn't right. You weren't comfortable, and it wasn't always easy to deal with. You had pretty much always been unhappy with your body. Even when you were younger, it felt off, and that still hadn't changed. You didn't feel like who you wanted to be. You focused on Cove again. He smiled at you and tilted his head, a question still in his eyes. He was waiting for you to come to an answer. But before you could, you had something to say to him. What do you think about me? I feel like it's more personal. I'm thinking about, or like that's more personality-wise. I want to like ask about my body, I guess. It's not about how I look. It's not about how I'm pretty. I guess more my body. So what do you feel about how my body is, really? I want you to tell me the truth. You saw a flicker of surprise in his face. His eyebrows furrowed in concern, as if he were trying to find the best words to say. Then his eyes warmed, like he was looking at something truly special.
You look wonderful. You are wonderful, Groovy.
Oh, shucks. His eyes were soft and serious all at once.
If you change from how you are right now, you'll still be wonderful. It can't be helped. It's a fact of life.
Oh. Excuse me, tracker. I'm frozen. That's awesome. I love that. Hold on.
Oh no.
Okay, V-Bridger's fine. It's VTube now. Oh, it disconnected. Okay,
Oh,
I'm back. Hi! Sorry, speaking of bodies, I left my body temporarily. Yeah. Cove stopped speaking and looked at you for a moment. He kicked his feet as he considered something, and then nodded with a thoughtful expression on his face. He stared forward and directly met your eyes.
I've known you for a long time, since we were kids. Since we were kids, you know, I've seen you just about every day for the past decades, so I think it's fair for me to say this.
It's nice.
Each day, you're different from before, just by a little bit. But you're also still the same. You're always you. It's nice to see you keep developing as a person.
That's so sweet.
I do want you to keep being you, but the only one who gets to decide who that is you.
Slay.
You choose who you are today. You get to choose who you are tomorrow, and that's okay with me.
It's the same with you. I'm happy I've gotten to watch you grow, and I think you're amazing. Cove looked touched by that.
Hey.
Hey, Groovy.
Cove gave a bent smile, pointing to your arms.
You're looking particularly shapely today.
That's not true. I am very soft.
It's...
He answered not with words, but a solid okay sign, with both hands and the same cheeky smile. Cove suddenly blushed when he realized how boldly he'd complimented you. He stood by it, even if he was a little red. You were a little taken aback. That came out of nowhere. You glanced at yourself. You like that?
Yeah.
You have good arms yourself. Cove ducked his head and started to rub his left arm. It seemed he was much more prepared to rain praise on you than to receive it himself. He barely could respond.
Thanks. You too. Oh, I already said that, huh? Thanks.
Finally, you felt that that was enough of the topic for one day. You went back to your original goal before you sidetracked. You needed to pick what you wanted to wear to the beach. God, I never know what to fucking wear. I think, like, speaking of dysphoria, I always feel dysphoric in, like, swimwear. I never know. I guess casual clothes, but if I want to go swimming, I guess I wear a wetsuit. While you dug around in your drawers, you tried to think if there was anything else you were missing. Shirt. With that taken care of, you held your outfit together and looked to Cove. He was tapping his toes on the side of the wall as he waited. You vaguely wondered if he thought that was a comfortable place to sit. You hoped so, given how long he'd perched on it. Regardless, it was time for him to go. You weren't going to put on your beachwear with him just chilling there. Well, I'm gonna change, so how about you wait outside? Cove nodded reassuringly.
Alright.
Goodbye! Cove lowered himself off the window and strolled past you to get to the door. He lightly brushed his fingers against your cheek when he passed by.
Bye.
Oh.
I'll see you out front.
Okay, bye. Okay. When you were alone, you got undressed and put your swimwear on. You also checked your beach bag for the final time, and it seemed like you hadn't forgotten anything. You left your room and hurried down the stairs, ready to meet Cove. You made sure to lock your front door and walked outside. Cove stood in the road, looking down and scuffing his feet on the asphalt. When you shut your asphalt. When you I know what the hell is anyways. When you shut your heavy door, he looked up at you and smiled. Want to check on Baxter? Cove's fairly neutral attitude on the topic of Baxter didn't escape your notice. He tended to get uncomfortable when Baxter surprised or flustered him. But damn, they're fucking hitting on each other. But since things were pre-planned and for an event favorable to Cove, he didn't seem bothered. Cool, let's go.
Sure.
Okay.
The two of you walked unhurried up the street. You hopped up onto the doorstep and rang the bell. A few seconds passed, and you shifted your weight on your feet while you waited. But Baxter didn't answer. The pause extended until things reached the point where you felt awkward hovering in front of his shut-up home. You spun towards Cove and you returned a nervous stare with a tight-lipped smile. At least you could take solace in the fact that the mild misery had company. There were only a couple options to pick from. You could either ring the doorbell again, or you could go back to standing in the street where you felt less like an unwanted salesperson. You reached for the bell, but a sudden noise through the wood made you pause. Hey, you kept me waiting. Finally, the door cracked open and Baxter peeked through. Then he swung the door the rest of the way out.
Good afternoon.
Jesus Christ.
I
scared me.
forgot you sound like that. I can't thank you both enough for waiting. Hi.
Aren't... Wait. Why aren't you wearing a swimsuit? Crossing your arms, you took a good long look at Baxter. He appeared to be dressed for a day out literally anywhere other than the beach.
I never had any intention of swimming, so I figured it would be better to dress as I would normally.
Oh my god. I'm gonna push you in the water. Oh, okay. He blinked and stared back at you in bewilderment. Hi, Josh. Hello.
Hello.
Do you remember Baxter? So we're going to the beach. This asshole is dressed in a button-up and like 5 rings and
ripped jeans
like a fucking asshole. As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters. No, I'm gonna fucking... I remember him being rude. He's not rude, he's just very forward and flirts with both me and Cove. I wonder if there's like a polyam, like, can't go swimming without serving? But he's not serving beach.
He's not serving beach.
You'll probably be shaking sand out of everywhere for a few months though. Yeah, like, I even if I wasn't swimming, I would not go to the fucking beach in jeans. I know
that would
that's
be
technically, I know it's technically because it's just his casual clothes model, but I like to think that he's going to the fucking beach in ripped jeans. His shoulder gradually lowered.
Oh. I'm sure I'll prepare. I did not expect the voice.
Every time he talks.
Wise words. I'm sure I'll prepare myself.
The atmosphere had become far more laid back. Cove was the one to move things forward.
So, I was thinking, we could get settled at the beach now, and Terry and Miranda could catch up with us there.
I can do that.
I second that idea. While this neighborhood is charming, I think a change in scenery would be preferable.
You moved in the direction of the beach, while Cove paused to shoot off a quick update. He made sure to let the others know exactly where to find you. I don't mind. He flashed a thumbs up as soon as the message was sent, and with that, the 3 of you strolled down the street. The path you walked was as natural as breathing for you and Cove. For Baxter, it was a brand new experience. Though you might not have been able to tell, he walked straight on with certainty in his steps. That was on par with the locals. The ocean stretched as far as the eye could see. It was a perfect day, clear sky, rolling waves, and an inviting breeze coming across the water to combat the balmy heat. Cove threw his towel down to smooth out the corners while you settled on a spot for your own things nearby. Baxter, meanwhile, hesitated, merely watching what you two had done. Before you could say anything, Baxter moved forward and picked a small stretch of beach close to yours for his own things. He meticulously laid his pure black towel out over the warm white sand. Turning away, you tried to hold back and hide your laughter. It was just so convenient that even here, his black and white color scheme was inescapable. Shaking off the snickers, you were glad Baxter had the forethought to bring a towel. You shouldn't need it to dry off, but at least he had a comfortable barrier between himself and the ground. Baxter stared right back, hypnotized by moving water, and carefully lowered himself into the towel. For you, your family, and your neighbors, the ocean was an old and well-loved friend. But witnessing the wonder dancing through Baxter's eyes reminded you just how vast and awe-inspiring the sight truly was when it was right in front of you. You glanced at Cove and realized that he was taken in by that side of Baxter as well. This beach was a special place for the people of Sunset Bird, and now it was working its magic on Baxter. Cove seemed flattered by the awe and unspoken approval written all over Baxter's face. The sea meant more to him than even the others living there. To appreciate it was to accept him. He hugged his knees to his chest.
So?
What did you want to do?
When you didn't answer, Baxter tore his focus away from the water. He was pleasantly surprised to find out that Cove had directed that question to him instead.
Oh, I've been running on the assumption that you all had something in mind. Whatever it is works for me.
I am going to throw him into the water. That had better be a choice. We don't.
Nope, no ideas.
Honestly.
Then, truthfully, I'd prefer to stay as dry as possible. Taking a stroll or simply remaining here where we are, enjoying the scenic view, would make a perfect afternoon in my book.
Oh, but that's not going to happen. I am throwing you into that seawater.
But my wants shouldn't interfere with yours. I won't stop anyone from having fun in the water. Rest assured I'm not heartless.
Cove nodded understandingly. The odds were low that Baxter was gonna go for a dip in jeans and a shirt. Oh, he's canonically wearing jeans at the fucking beach. And a shirt that looked too delicate for a washing machine. But that was fine. Oh. Too bad, I'm still throwing you in. I wanna go swimming. Personally, I wanna swim.
Me too.
Cool. Stretching your arms high above your head, you felt the sunshine on your fingertips. Baxter never moved his eyes off of you.
I hope the water is exactly to your liking.
Cove kicked his heels, sending some grains of sand that had gotten on his towel sailing. He had done well starting the conversation, but now he was unsure of how to keep it going. Luckily, it didn't take long until you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed in her wake, laughing with her towel clutched around her shoulders and flowing like a cape. Miranda started making her jumps more theatric and more precarious. As she got closer, Cove waved them on with a bright grin. You shouted a greeting. How's it going? Slay. The two officially arrived at your little group set up. Looking completely ready for the ocean adventure. They were already in their swimwear and were raring to go. Awkwardly, Cove pointed in Baxter's direction. He remembered that Miranda hadn't actually seen him before.
Thanks. Oh god, that's Baxter.
The strange young man's presence nearby suddenly made a lot more sense to her. Miranda shyly waved with a certain cheerful smile. I love her swimsuit. It's so cute.
It's really cute. Hi, nice to meet you.
Of course.
Hi.
Likewise.
His voice is so deep, which isn't bad. It's just I don't expect it.
Yeah.
It's like in my brain.
I know.
Baxter offered her a handshake, and Miranda grew confused at his formal gesture, checking the reactions of her friends on it. She was the weird one for thinking this was weird. That only made his smile widen.
I can assure you that I'm harmless.
You knew Miranda well enough to recognize the worry she was trying to hide behind a more collected front. It was easy to imagine that she might have felt somewhat intimidated. Baxter had an air of maturity about himself. While Miranda was a little bit childish and shy in comparison, hesitantly she clasped his hand and gave him a proper shake.
Thanks for meeting us here today.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Baxter placed his other hand gently on the back of her. Oh, Jesus. Well, he spoke. They both let go and Terry sprang forward.
Hey, buddies.
Hello, hello.
She teasingly punched Baxter's upper arm.
Nice to see you too.
Cove sweep! Hi, Eric. We're at the beach.
Hello.
Terry had already made her dramatic introduction to him at the start of summer. So, beach episode, let's go!
Yeah,
Dude,
beach episode.
before the beach episode, I was in my room having body dysphoria. What's a beach episode without gender? So she was excited to skip right to the good part, hanging out.
The bee-man is actually here. I can't believe how long it took for everyone to get together. Hi, Cove, and Groovy too. Hey.
Without gender, all there's left to do is put the sand back in the sandwich. You were so right.
Catch us up. Did we miss anything important?
I don't know, family update, I guess. Your moms were still the same as ever for the most part, although they were definitely still adjusting to you being an adult now. Liz had asked you to take pictures of her latest makeup look the other day. There was nothing too dramatic going on right now. Terry nodded along and mentioned a couple things about her own parents. Miranda brought up her family and shared some of the wild things her older brother had done. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she'd almost overslept since she had stayed up too late last night. She bounced on her feet as she spoke.
But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on less back during school.
Oh, I feel that. Miranda filled in the group about her morning. Apparently, everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry on her way here, and you knew the rest. Cove offered a suggestion to the gang.
Hey, why don't we take this out to the water?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You felt pleased that Cove remembered what you wanted to do. Sometimes he could be thoughtful like that. Terry threw her stuff down on the sand and started running for the waves. Miranda was more careful, setting down her things, and waited for you and Cove. Cove tilted his shoulder to gesture over to the sea.
All right.
I've been looking forward to this.
Fuck yeah. Four of you made your way down to the shoreline together. Miranda cartwheeled and Terry clapped. Baxter watched. Cove swam out the furthest while Terry instigated a splash fight. It was near enough that Baxter couldn't comment on it. There was rarely a quiet moment where someone wasn't laughing. Hours passed and the group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some were exhaustive. For you, it was break time. Baxter agreed. You sat on your towel, sipping at some water, and he rested on his. Your friends were hard at work burying Terry's full body under a pile. Miranda used her arms to force up sand around Terry's sides. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. You took another drink and glanced over at Baxter. He was staring at the water, but there was an entirely different feeling radiating from him. Rather than pure awe, there was a level of discomfort marrying Baxter's expression. You wondered what was bothering him. Suddenly, he turned towards you as if he could feel your curiosity prodding at him. He surprised you with a kind smile.
To be honest,
I've never swam in the ocean before.
All right, take a floaty and get in. He let that hang here and absent-mindedly brushed some sand off his thigh. After spending so much of your life in Sunset Bird, you honestly struggled to believe that.
I've been on boats, of course, but I can't imagine being fully immersed in the ocean. It's a bit, well, frightening.
It seems sorry.
It seems endlessly deep and unpredictable, with powerful waves and rapid currents.
You know what? Fair enough. That does sound terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And there are creatures lurking in there. Some of them are larger than me. It's unfathomable. You don't play with something like that.
it's
If I enter the water, every time he speaks, it's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's like,
If I enter that water, I'll never return from it. The ocean will swallow me whole. That's what I think.
His smile strained under the weight of his growing nervousness. Baxter had always carried himself so calmly. This genuine vulnerability left you speechless. And then you heard Miranda screech. Your attention immediately switched over to your friends. You registered that Terry had gotten impatient and shifted her legs. The walls Miranda had been miraculously building collapsed into a wet heap of sand. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. She surveyed the damage critically.
We're gonna have to start over on that part. Do you want to give up on this now? No way. The burial must continue. I'll try not to move anymore. Okay, if you're sure. I'll try to fix this.
Miranda started to rebury her, and Terry shot her a thumbs up. She realized too late that moving her arm was a bad idea. God damn it. More of the sand on her crumbled, and Miranda put her head in her hands.
don't worry about it.
I've got that part.
Miranda nodded at him with appreciation. They got back to work, redoubling their efforts to pile sand over the limbs of their friend. Baxter caught your eye, and you both snickered at the interruption. As it grew quiet again, you offered Baxter some words. I don't have an issue with the ocean per se, but piers bother me. I'm paranoid I'm gonna drop my... Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Like, being near an edge or, like, something where things could fall, and I'm holding something, it makes me so... Like... This isn't exactly the same, but yesterday I made a grilled cheese and then I was holding, like, and I had, like, the fucking, like, the panini press grill or whatever, and I had my phone over it for a second, and I was like, if I drop this in, it's fucking over. Like, it's gonna damage this shit so bad. Also, hi, welcome in. Yeah, like, standing near an edge of something and then holding my phone or something delicate, or, like, even, like, when I walk over, like, a sewer grate, and it's, like, it's not, like, the ones with little holes, but the ones with, like, the... Like, I don't know how to, like, it's like
the
bars.
The lines, the bars?
Yeah. And I'm like, if I drop it, my phone in there, like, I'm done.
It's over.
Yeah. I'm crying
literally.
for the rest of the week, like.
Or, like, even, like, if I'm at a sightseeing place and there's, like, a hand railing, it's, like, off a cliff or something, it's like, wow, if I drop my phone down this cliff, it's over.
Yeah, like, I'm just watching it fall. Like, or, like, even when, you know, when you go, you're in a roller coaster line, and then you see a bunch of, you're, like, on the stairs, and you're on above, and it has, like, a gate where, like, the like, coaster tracks are, and you see all the shit that's fallen there, like, hats and glasses and, like, shoes, like...
Like, that better not be me.
Yeah, that could be me.
That could be me, but we're not manifesting that.
Yeah.
Holding on to everything for dear life.
For fucking real. I kind of want to get him in the water. Would you want to try going in just a little? I'll be there with you. Baxter's near perpetual smile flattened into a thin line. He swallowed visibly. I'm not saying you should go for a swim. You could get your feet wet. Feel the wave brush against your toes. Okay, he trusted me with this. I take back all. I'm not pushing him in the water, but I will hold his hand as he gets his feet wet. He ruminated on your suggestion for several seconds. Gradually, you caught the upturned twist of his lips.
It's doable.
Well, I suppose I could manage that.
Well, let's go.
Let's.
One by one, Baxter removed his sleek black shoes and gently set them on his towel. You notice they had a slight heel to them. Ooh. Next, Baxter peeled off his crisp. What the fuck?
Crisp.
His crisp white socks. And stuffed them inside his shoes. Finally, he rolled the tattered edges of his jeans up to his calves. Yo, feet for free? The two of you got up and approached the ocean's edge. As soon as the water rushed forward and tickled his skin, the air got caught in his throat and Baxter froze in place. Okay, hold my hand. You offered him your hand. His lip twitched, and then Baxter immediately latched onto you. Aww. Moving closer, you tried not to splash him. You knew this was a huge moment for Baxter, and you were willing to give him all the time he needed. Gradually, he was able to release a calming breath. He squeezed you and offered a tentative smile. You gave him a reassuring squeeze back. Baxter inched further until water crept onto his calf. He watched this water swirling around him as it moved with the tide, and then surprisingly, he chuckled at the sensation.
You know, this is rather nice.
Yeah, like, you know when you walk on the beach at night and you just kind of like let your feet get wet because you walk on the shore? Like, that's so relaxing and nice.
I know. Oh my god. This is as far as I go. I'm positive on that point.
Fair enough, I will not push you in. You're safe for one more day. That's okay, right here is perfect. I'm just glad this wasn't too bad for you.
As am I.
Baxter stayed there and viewed the waves, not from a distance, but from within their embrace. His nerves ebbed until you two were relaxed in the bubble of each other's company. At last, by your side, he could enjoy the feeling of the ocean from a safe level.
Hell yeah!
Resembling the Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah! She kicked herself out of the ground with a gusto. Sand went flying out from all directions, and Terry's shaped imprint was left behind. Miranda yelled again, and Cove chuckled. There probably wasn't a better way to get out of it. The suddenness of the incident startled you and Baxter enough to let go of each other's hands. You didn't get to join in on burying Terry, but you didn't mind. The one-on-one time you did get with Baxter was something you wouldn't have missed. You waved cheerily to your friends, and the five of you regrouped about halfway between the towel and the destroyed tome.
Man, I'm ready to wash this off.
She has sand where there should never be sand, I fear. Terry looked down at herself and laughed. She tried brushing the wet, mushy sand off, but most of it stubbornly clung on. She only succeeded in moving around where it was on her. Terry's grin tilted when her gaze landed on Baxter. She shrugged awkwardly.
I'm not expecting all of us to jump in. Thank you. Don't worry about me. It was never my intention to swim. Please don't let that stop your fun. Wait, what?
Well.
It's simply not my preference.
Terry squinted and thoroughly scrutinized him. She wasn't satisfied with his answer. I mean, he came here in like a fucking polo and like jeans. Did you think he was gonna swim?
I think I get it. You're new here. You don't know what to do in a general wide sea. Just hold on to my back and I'll take you out into the water with me.
She's so into him.
Your place is right up the street. It's not too late to change. While I greatly appreciate the gesture, I must decline. I've experienced as much of the salt water as I want to already. Are you sure? I can totally handle it. I'm a lifeguard in training. Terry, I thought you hadn't signed up yet.
She's a lifeguard in training in her mind palace.
In mind. Shh, I will, and that's what counts.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Oh, but it's just so sad to leave you out, you know? Me and Cove only became friends in the first place because we're beach people. You can be a beach man too, B-man.
Her crestfallen gaze slid to Cove. He nodded understandingly. Surprisingly, Baxter chuckled.
I get it.
I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry for any upset I might have caused, but please, trust me on this one. I'm perfectly fine. I may not be much of a seafaring man, but I have gone swimming before. Pools and lakes are no trouble to me.
Oh, so he can't swim. It's just like the ocean, which I
He
get.
just doesn't like the ocean, yeah.
That's so valid.
In fact, I would guess I've done certain water-based activities that some of you might be too nervous to try.
Alright, my fucking bad guy. Cove's lips pursed. He raised... yeah, you just fucking challenged Cove, I hope you know that. He raised his chin and stared, not so much threatened by Baxter's accusation, but insulted he would even make such a challenge.
Seriously?
Like what? I surf. I have a dad whose entire business is about water-based activities. I went on a jet ski when I was 8. What could you have done?
Yeah, how do you think I got this scar? He notably didn't mention the results of his young jet skiing adventure, and Baxter didn't show any hint of doubt about Cove's accomplishments. Baxter straightforwardly answered the question instead.
Skinny dipping?
Is that a challenge? I can remove this wetsuit right now. Please let me skinny dip, please, for the love of God. Cove's jaw dropped. That suggestion left him scandalized and the reddest you'd ever seen him.
That doesn't count.
It does. Unfortunately, COVID does count.
So, you haven't done it then. You might want to, especially since you already enjoy the water. It is rather liberating.
Have you... I probably know the answer. Have you ever skinny dipped?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think I have either. I don't know. I guess, I guess I haven't given the opportunity. Like, if I know I'm gonna go to the water, I have my swimsuit on. I guess it's more... I don't know. Like, what's the context? When does one skinny dip? Baxter was making an honest...
Not tell you.
Yeah, like... Baxter was making an honest recommendation. You could tell it wasn't his intention to come across mocking Cove's lack of experience there. However, Cove was still completely thrown. The suggestion of Baxter's was even worse than implying he was more confident in the water than Cove. I have before. It's nothing too exciting. I mean, like, not that it's exciting, but I'd like to say that I've done it. Also, what was the context? What drove you to skinny dipping? The silent beat was broken by Miranda's embarrassed attempt to stifle her giggles with the palm of her hand. Her cheeks had grown flushed, and you knew it would be a while until she was confident enough to even dare to make eye contact with Baxter again. Opportunity to decide to... Yeah, I guess, like, you don't plan to do it. It just kind of happens. Terry, meanwhile, gave Baxter an impressed nod and then instantly lost all composure. She fell into a boisterous fit of laughter, holding tightly onto her own stomach. Wait, what was it about it then? Miranda. It was like... I forgot we called her that. No, it's fine. You can say whatever the fuck he wants. Alright, cool. I don't know. Face palming, you shook your head in an attempt to be disapproving, but the moment you peeked at Baxter, there was no stopping the wide grin stretching ear to ear. Of course he'd been skinny dipping, and of course he was dropping that fact without hesitation in front of 4 people he hardly knew.
Is that fine?
Did I say something wrong?
The playful note in his voice told you everything you needed to know. Baxter was fully aware and enjoying the bit of chaos he unleashed on the group. You exhaled deeply and did not comment. No one else added anything to anything on topic of Baxter's skinny dipping adventures either. It was back to the drawing board on what to do next. After a while, the gang mutually decided it would be best to go do something that was not water-based. The 5 of you continued to have a good time. You went on a shell hunt. Oh. Miranda managed to find the biggest, well, you found the most colorful. Cove caught a tiny crab. I've never seen a crab in person. Like on a
Me
beach.
neither.
You did a bit of everything. There were impromptu games to just soaking up each other's company. However, after a while, you all had ran out of water, drinkable water anyway. It was decided that you'd head to Cove's house or yours. Things were gathered, and you started to cheerfully walk up the road.
What next? I don't have anywhere to go, so it could be whatever.
Yeah?
Same. I guess we can keep hanging out.
Terry snorted and readjusted her grip on her thighs.
Don't sound too sure there, Cove.
By this point, you could see your house. It hadn't taken you long to make the trip. The conversation continued with everyone throwing out suggestions.
Are people hungry?
Oh fuck yeah, let's go get Chinese food. She looked from face to face in inspection. Cove and Miranda shrugged in concern. Baxter didn't react. No one was overtly opposed to it. However, you weren't really starving. It wasn't quite a mealtime. Oh,
We
fuck.
could get dessert.
Can we get shaved ice? Miranda put
Crepe.
a finger. Oh, we're gonna get crepes. You're right.
Yeah.
Miranda put a finger on her lip and thought. With a smile, her voice became more confident.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Terry considered it and then shot Miranda a thumbs up.
Sure.
Sounds great to me. I can definitely go for that.
I think that's a good idea. When the topic of dessert was raised, Baxter hummed with interest. This caught everyone's attention as nothing else had drawn a comment from him in a while.
What do you think?
If that is the next event, would we be willing to try ice cream and similar frozen treats?
Why does he talk like that? Just say
It's
no ice
his.
cream.
I don't know, like the audio, like the microphone he uses. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Like like those ASMR videos. Like it's
Yeah.
just like it's so
He
close.
speaks very much like ASMR, but also I
Yeah.
meant like the way he taught. Would we consider a frozen treat today on this day? Like, just say you want ice cream, dog. And I know that's the point. He's so strange.
I like the sound of that,
Why?
but why?
Baxter shook his head ruefully.
Truthfully, the one thing I have wanted to do what oh my god. I have wanted to do while I'm here is to see an ice cream truck in person.
Oh,
In person.
I haven't had ice cream from an ice cream truck in forever.
My hometown doesn't have one, and neither is there one around my campus. It is a summer tradition that I have missed.
I understand. You and Cove stared at him blank-faced. Miranda pressed her lips together and shot a glance at Terry. Her expression was like a stone.
That was a dramatic drop in mood. Being goshly tourist? I mean, gosh, is that how you say it? Goshly? Gouchly?
I've never seen that word in my fucking
I
life.
literally don't know. Goshly touristy right now?
He was entirely off in the guess. Baxter could only watch helplessly as the people around him remained unusually sober. Cove voiced the consensus of the locals.
I have never been to an ice cream truck either.
What?
Are you serious?
Miranda nodded her head, and Baxter's composure shifted into incredulity.
Me neither.
Nope.
Same.
Yep, me too. There isn't an ice cream truck in Sunset Bird.
That's...
We have an ice cream stand on the shopping street. It's not exactly the same, but that's how it is.
Oh, and sometimes we got ice cream at the park during big events. That was from a cardboard box, though, still not a truck.
I've only gone to ice cream parlors that got ice cream from the freezer part of grocery stores.
Me too.
Uh-huh, but sometimes my family makes it homemade.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Baxter
Mhm.
grinned for once, on the same ground as his new companions.
I've normally only eaten it at restaurants after a meal. I never realized that ice cream trucks are so rare.
Unexpectedly, Cove was the first to agree with Baxter. He narrowed his eyes and spoke firmly.
Then yeah, let's find a truck. I've got to do it at least one time.
There's got to be like an app that tracks ice cream trucks, right? Like, there's got to be a way in this year.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd love to hunt down an ice cream truck.
New summer plans. Hunt down an ice cream truck.
Literally.
Yeah, Baxter's onto something. We've all been missing out.
Terry raised a fist into the air in a dramatic pose.
There has to be an ice cream truck somewhere in California.
That's good with me. Baxter brightened more, seeing his suggestion receive support. Miranda smiled at him. You could only guess at first. At her first impression of Baxter, but given how she had relaxed around him, you imagined he was growing on her. He wasn't as excited, as exceedingly self-assured as he came across at first blush, but it was nicer that Baxter was confident.
Let's do it.
That sounds fun. Let's look it up.
Miranda reached into her bag and dug around her phone. She pulled out a hair scrunchie, a small notepad with unicorns, and a bundle of chunky keychains. Her phone remained elusive.
Just give me a sec.
The rest of the group smells pulled into a tentative, hopeful grins. There was an air of slight disbelief. Cove mulled it over while tapping his foot.
Wherever it is, we're gonna have to drive to get there. I think so. None are in town, right? And everywhere else is far away.
She finally retrieved her phone and started to search on her Maps app. She tapped her screen with a frown.
I'm not sure.
It's already late afternoon, too. I wonder if ice cream trucks are even still going around. We have to believe. It's too soon to give up.
Cove nodded, patting at his pockets. They were tellingly empty.
I'll get my keys.
It's doable.
No need. Allow me. I asked to do this. It's only fair that I be the one to cover transportation. Besides, it's a rental. We may as well make the most of it while I have it.
Dude, I hope this ends in a car chase with the fucking ice cream truck.
God. Alright.
Cove raised his shoulders in a bewildered shrug. Baxter ran his fingers through his hair to swipe his bangs, and they fell exactly back into place after.
I'll return in only a moment.
Should we get changed? Terry shot him a thumbs up, and Miranda mumbled, absent-mindedly focused on her task. Baxter flipped towards his condo and headed off, his strides long and determined.
Oh.
Cove raised his voice at Baxter's back.
We'll put our stuff away while you're off doing that.
Baxter peered over her shoulder and answered.
Good.
Okay.
Very good.
Baxter was soon out of sight, and Cove had gathered up all his things into a sturdy hold. He gestured with his chin to his house.
We can use my place for storage.
You were on board with that. You shifted your things around so they'd be more comfortable to move. Thanks, Cove. You appreciate his offer for the simple truth that his dad would care way less about the mess than your mom's. Cove led the group file into the Holden household. Miranda brought up the rear, stumbling behind Terry. She was being led by arm while still keeping her eye on her phone. Sandy towels were dropped into a heap on the living room, one after the other. No one wasted even a second with organization, taking cues from Cove's rush.
I need a minute. Gonna grab a shirt.
He darted down the hall, his steps loud on the hard floor. You straightened your shirt, suddenly conscious of what was on your own body after Cove brought up the topic. Cove returned now, decent in his Orca t-shirt. Terry hooked her arm around Miranda and used her other hand to wave towards the door. When you got out, you could see Baxter's shiny black vehicle idling on the street and awaiting its passengers. Cove went for a seat in the back without consideration. He was not going to be in the front. I mean, I think Terry would probably want to sit in the front. I'll sit in the back with my boyfriend. He followed Cove and took the left seat. Terry claimed shotgun. Yeah. Miranda squeezed past Cove into the middle.
Hello.
Welcome to my car, friends. Do we know where we're going?
Miranda nodded slightly and leaned forward to hold her phone up. Her persistence had bared fruit.
There's some suburbs surrounding the city where ice cream trucks have routes during the summer. I can't tell exactly where they're going to be when we get there, though. That's more than enough.
The two conferred on directions until Baxter decided to route towards a random neighborhood street in the area as a starting point. He took off, the car gliding across the road with a minimum vibration affecting the cabin. It was the smoothest ride you'd ever had in a vehicle. In the heat of the excitement, Terry punched the music on. It connected to Baxter's song list, and your eardrums were struck by a pounding of a regular drum. A guitar riff shrieked out after. It was on a punk metal track. Jesus Christ. Sure, it's cool, I guess. This was your kind of music. Who knew it was his? As the drive continued, the music brought an almost surreal feel to the trip. The shredded guitars and shouted lyrics were a weird contrast to your goal of finding an ice cream truck. It inserted the humorous mental picture of an ice cream truck playing screaming punk metal instead of twinkling tunes to summon children for icy treats. Zipping through the length of Sunset Bird, in no time you flew past now leaving sign. Past the car zoomed down the open road while Miranda attempted to dig up more details on the elusive ice cream trucks.
Do they have socials? Maybe someone tagged them in a pic or they're live tweeting.
Huh?
Why would an ice cream truck be on Twitter? and I can't even find out their hours for sure. I believe in you.
Minutes added up, as did the miles. The city got closer, but the shadows closed in faster. The sun glinted from behind distant skyscrapers. Calling it late afternoon was being generous. It was evening. Unspoken tensions began to form. The odds of an ice cream truck being active dropped with every passing second, but Miranda continued to search and Baxter kept driving. As planned, he turned off the highway and followed the streets into the heart of the suburbs. He rolled through the neighborhood aimlessly until...
Yes!
Miranda beamed and shoved her phone up to the front.
You found one? There's a truck that's still open and nearby. It was on Facebook. I think if we go down their route, we'll find it at some point.
No way.
Amazing.
Alright, let's chase him
Never heard
down.
of that.
Yeah. Who uses Facebook?
Apparently ice cream trucks.
People who want ice cream. Let's go. Please direct me. I can't read the post. First, take a left at this next stop sign.
Baxter clicked off the music to focus on Miranda's words. He also opened his window. Terry and Cove followed Baxter's lead, but Terry could get further and push her head out the window as far as the seatbelt would let her, hands cupped around her ears. Cove would lean farther out when he saw anything even kind of truck-shaped. Everyone had their ears and eyes wide open for any signs. If an ice cream truck was somewhere in the area, they weren't going to miss it. Stick my fucking head out. You pushed off the floor of the car and then twisted into position with your head going straight through the opening. At such a slow pace, the wind coming through whipped at your hair gently, pleasantly. Much less nicely, a fine dust blew in from the street. You squinted against the dirt and sun. It had sunk low enough to be perpendicular with your eyeline. Still no truck to be seen. The houses you passed seemed older, probably built decades ago. Some had colorful lawn decorations and well-kept flower gardens. Others were nothing but green grass. Conversation stopped entirely once Miranda had told Baxter all he needed to know. He drove through the residential streets like a hunter on the prowl. The target could have been anywhere. He turned a corner, faint laughter filtered in through the window. You heard birds chirping and rustling leaves, but in that moment, none of that mattered. That's not what you needed. Fingers were crossed and breaths were held. Baxter turned yet again, towards the sign of life, and a new sound gradually floated in from the distance. You concentrated on the high-pitched, jingling tune. Was it? It had to be. It was the musical call of an ice cream truck. Let's go! Nobody could see it
truck
yet.
spotted.
Bro, where the fuck is it? Despite there being watchers on all sides, the song got louder. Baxter followed it persistently, his fingers tightening their grip on the wheel. Fucking step on it, bro. The jingle was the Pied Piper and everyone was drawn in by it. The car came up to a crossroads and stopped. There, that instant, a clamor filled the car. Everyone, even the ever-relaxed Baxter, cheered or grasped in sync. An ice cream truck just drove by in front of your very eyes. It was technically white, but covered with many brightly colored pictures of the original paint that was more of an accent. Stickers with the warnings such as "Go slow" and "Watch for children" stood out in red, and recognizable characters and edible versions were in a grind, labeling them as A1 or C3 for convenient ordering. It was like a moving treasure chest of frozen goodness, and the temptation was too strong for some. Still in the middle of the intersection, Cove's door popped open, what the fuck? And his seatbelt zipped up against the cushion. With nothing left to protect, Cove was gone. Nah, fuck it. Alright, let's go. As soon as humanly possible, you joined Cove in the wide world. Shoes to pavement, you rushed to the ice cream truck. You and Cove jogged after the truck, leading the pack. Terry cheered and waved, trying to catch the driver's attention. Miranda skipped behind her, moving her arms in wide motions. The truck lurched to a stop. You've done it. Let's fuck go. All four of you rushed up to the side of the service window. You excitedly crowded around the stuck-on menu. You could feel the anticipation of a kid on their birthday, except it was somehow everybody's birthday at the same time.
Finally.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting so many options. Where's the actual ice cream?
Baxter arrived while Terry pointed out a corner of the menu with more ice cream choices than popsicles. While you flailed down the middle of the road, he had responsibly parked the car on the opposite side of at the opposite end of the nearby empty street. Up close, you could see the images were faded. They weren't as vibrant as they should have been, and chips of paint were flaking off. If anything, the wear and tear increased the charm. It was real, and it was just what you'd imagine. You were finally experiencing a quintessential summer ritual. The order window lifted, and the driver gave a hearty greeting.
Good evening. Good evening to you.
I feel like he's our dad while we're like running to get ice cream.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hi. Thanks for stopping for us. Sorry for chasing you. No. Thank you for stopping by. Can I get you something?
Absolutely.
He beamed with victory, a cat who got his cream. Then he gave his first check over the options and shrugged.
However, we do require a
I
moment.
want an ice cream truck.
Of course, no problem. Take your time.
That started the great ice cream discussion. Ice cream was serious business and took consideration. Miranda was firmly in the camp of actual ice cream options, making the valid point that you'd come for ice cream. Terry wasn't convinced. Neither was Cove. Getting ice cream obviously didn't mean you actually had to get ice cream. Anything from the truck counted. The debate ended with no agreed on winner. Everyone just got what they wanted.
Hi again. I like a coconut popsicle. Sure, let me get that for you.
She reached over into the freezer and pulled out the first of the treats. She handed it off to Cove and he passed her some cash.
I'll have one of those snow cones.
Oh, I love snow cones.
And can I have a chocolate dipped ice cream cone, please? The D4?
They both received their treats, paid, and stepped away to clear the way. You decided to order. Okay, let's see.
Whoa, lots of options.
Holy shit. Okay. Grape popsicle. No, I think I also want ice cream. Snow popsicle. Ice cream sandwich. Okay. An ice cream cone. Cartoon face popsicle. Ice cream taco. Hold on. What the fuck is that? Never had that.
Oh no.
I guess it's like an ice cream sandwich or like a taco.
Probably.
That looks so good. What the fuck?
What is it? I need to search
It's
this
like,
up and I don't know
the
what this looks
cone
like.
is like shaped like a taco shell, and then like the inside is like chocolate with ice. It's like ice cream, chocolate, and then like sprinkles or nuts or something on it.
Oh.
I've never had that before. That sounds delicious. I will get an ice cream taco. A choco taco. I've never had that before. Baxter, meanwhile, had yet to finish staring at the menu. With intense scrutiny, his eyes went over to the rows of advertised frosty desserts long after everyone else had already had theirs. It was getting awkward, especially for the lady in the truck who would be stuck there until he finally got around to ordering something. Terry tried to break the ice, or ice cream, and cracked a joke.
Get the ice cream sundae cup. The ice cream is totally white and the chocolate sauce looks almost black.
Oh, that's cute. It matches him. He looks like an ice cream
Oh yeah.
sundae cup. She found that to be a side splitter, but it didn't even make a dent in Baxter's reverie. The world around him was lost to the palace of his mind.
Baxter?
Still no reaction. A new strategy was needed. Terry stuck a hand and right in front of his face, cutting him off from the picture, taking all of his attention. He blinked, and the spell of those tantalizing treats was broken.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is something the matter?
I mean, hurry up, dog.
That's what we wanted to ask you. You've been quiet for a while. Ah, yes, I have been.
Baxter put a hand to his chin and popped his hip out to one side. The focus that had been so centered on the truck was now set upon the rest of you. With that pose and his already eccentric style, Baxter looked like a side character in a cartoony mystery game. One who was definitely not the criminal, but needed to be cross-examined for important details.
My problem is this. I'm unsure if I should get a dessert that's to my usual taste. If I do, I'd be certain to enjoy what comes from the ice cream truck. I'd be certain to enjoy what comes from the ice cream truck. That would be nice. But on the other hand, this may happen only once. Perhaps it'd be more rewarding to get something new. An option that will be challenging to find in a common store.
I get that. That's why I got the ice cream taco. I've never had that shit before.
Mm-hmm. Which will add more to the experience. Indulgence or novelty? I want to make the right choice.
Get something wild. If you don't like it, you can still get your regular thing later today or tomorrow, anytime.
It's settled.
I appreciate you weighing in. A tiebreaker was needed. I'll do just that.
Just like, I'm a
Fun.
genius.
Yay! Success.
Baxter approached the trunk determinedly and leaned against the counter. He spoke briefly to the patient ice cream lady, then money was exchanged. In return, he got his prize. The coveted ice cream truck treat was finally in his hand. Baxter already explained the method of his decision making, but what that actually amount to was a mystery. He held it up for curious onlookers. I hope it's like one of those really bad character
It better be a
popsicles.
cartoon.
In his grip was a damp wrapper that boldly stated what laid underneath. A creamy popsicle made to look like a cute girl with bubblegum pieces in the eyes. It is. I bet it's gotta. My headcanon is Hatsune Miku.
Yes, that's the correct choice.
Yeah,
that is
she
the
was a
right
character
answer.
from an ever-popular cartoon show. A sweet thing colored mostly by blue and yellows. Okay, wait, what is this actually referencing? No.
Blue and yellows.
Overall, wildly out of place for a man like Baxter Ward to process. I'm trying to think of what it could be.
A sweet thing.
So it's a
Yellow
cute
and
girl,
blue.
yellow and blue, from a cartoon. Baxter was living on the edge that evening. It might not be based off anything, but it has to be. Cove snorted a laugh. Terry applauded.
Oh yeah, you can't get that in a grocery store.
Yep.
Or at a restaurant, and it'd be really hard to make yourself. You've done good, Baxter.
He understood the assignment. Entirely straightforward, Baxter made his intentions known.
This will be the first and last time I can see a small girl's face, ideally.
It's perfect. After one more thanks to your crowd, the ice cream sales lady shut the side window, then the truck slowly began to move. Your friends shouted and waved and gave grand farewells, wishing her well on her journey bringing treats to young and old. She beeped the horn a couple times in a cheer of her own. The truck eventually disappeared beneath the skyline, and you, along with the others, ambled across and up the road towards Baxter's car with treats in hand. Miranda and Terry giggled about something you couldn't quite catch. But it became apparent the minute they exchanged cones and took a lick each. Actually, using the word lick might have been generous.
Harry?
She fucking bit it, didn't she? A peek at Miranda's half-eaten ice cream and the vanilla and chocolate smeared all over Terry's mouth said all that needed to be said about the situation. Terry pitched forward, clutching her head, the cone nearly hurtling to the ground as she pressed into her temples with both hands.
Ooh.
Karmic justice. Brain freeze, huh?
How tragic. She was so young. Cove wiped a non-existent tear. He didn't shed for Terry. He looked wistfully to the sky as he dropped the hand over his heart.
Oh well.
You elbowed him in the ribs, and he went staggering off, clutching the most grievous wound. Then Cove pinched the edge of his popsicle stick, waved it like an accusatory finger in Terry's direction before taking a bite off the top. The regret was immediate on his face the minute he crunched down on it. Oh my god. He stiffened into a Covesicle. Luckily, both Cove and Terry made full recoveries after a minute. Cove bumped his shoulder into yours. He was careful he didn't send you flying.
Hey.
Hi? He was the one who approached you, yet his eyes didn't meet yours. Instead, they were sharply focused on the dessert clasped in your hand. He wants an indirect kiss, doesn't he? His blue eyes finally met yours. In a single fluid motion, the look was pleading. Cove was never good at hiding what he wanted. Then again, he never really made a point of trying to be. His mouth didn't even need to voice his intention with desperation, but it still did.
We're gonna
Aw.
share, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to share. You can have some of mine. I want to try yours too. Cove wordlessly exchanged his treat for yours. It tasted exactly as you expected it to, something between fruity and milky, but not cow's milk exactly, more like coconut milk. The others continued chatting as you clocked that there was a notably absent figure from the party. It was your fifth and newest addition to the group, who also happened to be the one who drove you guys here and made the plan in the first place, Baxter. Your eyes followed the retreating backs of Miranda and Terry, then to Cove, who already started to outpace you the minute you relaxed. You attempted to see if Baxter had gone even further ahead. There was no signs of the monochromatic color scheme you'd gotten so good at spotting. A low chuckle from behind you gave away the ghost. His tone was chill, as always, but it was even more fitting, considering the theme of the moment, frozen delights.
Oh?
I wonder what it is that you're searching for, Groovy.
You felt bad, not noticing that he'd been quiet since you gave your well wishes and sent the truck off on its way. You imagine he would have fit himself into the conversation without much issue, but he hadn't. Instead, he hung out at the very end of the crowd, inspecting his dessert, with the gravity of a man who only just faced his fears of the ocean for the first time. You want a bite? You slowed to a stop together, waved on the others, then they checked on you. When they checked on you, Baxter's walk turned into a brief jog, aware that you were waiting and not wanting to keep you. It wasn't long before he came up from behind. You fell into step beside him. The two of you sat silent as he passed, a wondering glance in your direction. It'd been a hot topic of discussion with the others. It'd be good to include Baxter on the fun too, even if he said no. Did you want to try? Baxter lifted his hooded eyelids higher, searching your face for something, though you weren't sure what.
All right.
I'll bite.
Really? Quirking his head to the side, Baxter held an easy smile as naturally as a leaf on the wind.
Certainly. Did you think I would refuse an opportunity to sample the finest fare that Sunset Bird has to offer?
You knew he was teasing you, so you wiggled your eyebrows back at him as comically as you could. Well, you won't be disappointed. Baxter held an open palm and waiting for the proffered treat to be handed over. Good, give it to him here. He took it gratefully. Baxter turned the treat side to side, searching for a good angle to approach, before settling on just biting it. Baxter was silent as he considered the taste. He returned it to you, still contemplating. Then, when it was off his hand, he gave his reveal.
Good.
That was interesting. You are too kind, Groovy.
Excellent.
Would you care to try mine? It's intriguing.
It's like an anime girl on a popsicle. Sure, I get. Well, I mean, if you're offering. Baxter passed over the popsicle to you for your appraisal. It was flavored faintly by freezer burnt and bubblegum. That was the conclusion you drew after getting a good lick to the back of his popsicle. But it didn't really taste of anything, at least not with any certainty. Baxter watched quietly in no rush to get it back. You could have another try if you wish, but it didn't feel right doing it a second time. Thank you, I'm all right. Baxter withdrew his offer, taking another lick of his popsicle instead.
It's an experience, no?
Sure. Well, it was hard to disagree there. It tasted strange, but you weren't sure if you enjoyed it or not, or didn't enjoy it either. Intriguing had been the right word for it.
Hey, buddies.
Terry waved her snow cone on high as she called out to the both of you. When did the others get to the car? All right, we're coming. You called to her before you and Baxter took off up the street. Terry pointed her partially melted snow cone towards you. Towards Baxter as soon as he came close enough.
I want to try yours too. Mine's a little slushy now, but that's half the appeal.
He gave his cartoon-faced popsicle to Terry, taking the paper cone in exchange.
And for reference, what is the other half? Turns your tongue blue.
She's so right. She gets it.
Really?
Didn't you get a cherry? Yep. Are you sure you didn't get the wrong one? I'm not sure about anything in this life.
Fair the fuck enough. After they each got a chance to try each other's desserts, Baxter and Terry swapped again. Then Baxter leaned against his car hood while everyone else happily situated themselves around the area. Randy and Terry took seats on the sidewalk curb. Apparently he heatedly debating the possibility of blue cherry being a real flavor. I've heard blue raspberry. I never heard of blue cherry.
Blue cherry.
Terry had a fair argument considering raspberries weren't blue, and yet blue raspberry did exist for some reason. Yeah, but I guess. Cove hovered nearby, couching himself on the summer warm asphalt. He stretched and strained, trying to lick a stream of melted coconut popsicle running down his arm. Oh, I hate that. You remember you can't lick your elbow, right? You never could. Ignoring your well-intentioned warning, he pressed on, his face squished against his forearm, tongue angling to try anyways.
I can do it. It's personal now.
The limits of the human body were a pain, but it was still pretty funny to watch him try to fight against it. With the absence of the ice cream truck's music and the thrill that came with that, the street seemed entirely different. Houses quietly lined the street, and you heard the rush of the wind. Branches swayed overhead in the breeze, and leaves rustled. It didn't carry the comforting smell of sea salt.
So?
Here we are.
Terry heartedly licked the side of her snow cone. She leaned on her fist to get. She leaned on her fist, the arm propped up on a raised knee. Her tongue was extremely blue now.
Far away from where we belong and who knows where. Camped out in front of some random suburban person's house.
Miranda tilted her head back to look up at the mailbox mounted to the concrete. Rocking to one side, she craned her head to get a read of what number was on the side of it.
Thanks.
Thank you to the fine people of 231, whatever the street is.
Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, people of 231, whatever street. Right, and thanks for driving us all the way out here, Bax. Can I call you Bax?
I mean, you called him B-Man. Before you could answer,
Yeah.
Terry sucked in a bit of air and waved it off.
Nah.
No, that's not right. I'll work on it.
Baxter chuckled, taking another lick of his popsicle.
There is no need to thank me. It was exactly what I had wanted to do.
I think that sounds fun. What'd you guys think of the ice cream truck?
I loved it. Sounds like Bert should get an ice cream truck.
Oh, yeah.
It was everything I dreamed of for the last hour.
Randy nodded, taking another lick of her ice cream cone. A glop of it dripped onto her hand before Baxter offered a napkin, which she happily took.
It's one of the best ways to get ice cream. Grocery stores don't come close. I'm inclined to agree. A suitable new feather in my cap for summer traditions.
The sky grew pinker and yellower, and you knew the day was soon going to come to a close. Somehow it felt wrong. It had gone too fast to be over. Though summer never seemed long enough those days. As you were about to voice that thought, you heard the dim sound of something gurgling that immediately replaced the words that came out. Hey, did you guys hear that? The fuck?
I did. Yeah, what was it?
Is it like someone's fucked up dog? Neither of the boys replied to the question except for shakes of the head and shrugs in the negative. There was no time for follow-up questions because the answer came in the form of water bubbled, then shot up and it's we're gonna get shot by a sprinkler.
No,
Arcs all
sprinkler.
around. Droplets splattered into the paved driveway and were coming towards the sidewalk next.
Sprinklers.
Randy made a break for it, dashing into the street with the speed of an Olympian sprinter.
Randy, wait up.
Terry leapt onto her feet. Her shoes hit the concrete with a wet slap, while Baxter wordlessly searched for cover himself from the surprise spray meandering away without any urgency. He responded with remarkable poise about the whole thing, unbothered by the fact that he'd gotten wet today after all. Baxter even had time to finish the last bit of his cartoon face popsicle. I'm gonna run after them. Don't leave me here! Miranda held her arms out to you as you booked it across the street. You crashed into her. Terry greeted you with double high fives. The three of you watched the sprinklers from a distance. But Cove didn't even so much as flinch. He only stood to his full height with his back to the car, a popsicle stick prodding out of his mouth. He glanced over at the others, grinned as he withdrew the stick clean.
Oh?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
fucking...
this.
fucking knew it.
How about this water-based activity? Most of us are still in swimsuits.
exciting.
Oh, well, isn't that oh my god, interesting proposition?
The challenge had been issued and Baxter threw down the gauntlet. He held his own popsicle stick between his teeth, lifting each leg one at a time to take off his shoes and socks before abandoning them to the road. Cove's eyes popped open with shock, but he didn't allow the surprise to keep him from moving. He darted off to the lawns, and Baxter came sprinting from behind. It looked more like Cove was running away from him rather than into the sprinklers.
My snow cone!
Terry complained, sticking the paper cone higher in the air as she stayed well and good away from the sprinkler spray.
No.
It'll melt!
Terry had a wetsuit on that wasn't going to protect her snow cone from a long shot.
Let's do it.
Oh, come on, Terry. Live a little.
In spite of the fact that Miranda had led the charge for cover, she was easily convinced to jump into the fray. Skipping to the sidewalk with her ice cream in tow, she waved the two boys down to stop and wait for her. Terry sidled up to your side, clutching her honestly already melted dessert. Her eyes kept going between her much-beloved tree and the sparkling sprinklers, but she seemed to have chosen to preserve the sanity of the snow cone instead. Fuck yeah, here I come! Terry gave you a thumbs up as you abandoned your shoes and went frolicking through the sprinklers with reckless abandon. The temperature of the water was bracing. Odds had been good it'd be cold, but this was almost on the next level. Did the suburbs put ice in their pipes? Still, you weren't about to regret the decision now. Take Cove's hand. You didn't need to tell Cove for him. You didn't need to tell Cove for him to know that you were coming. As soon as you managed to close the distance, Cove met your outstretched hands with his. Cove sweep! Would you mind if I joined you? Cove's fingers closed around yours gently. The sea green hair was plastered to his cheeks. He was already soaked with his answer warmed by your freezing heart immediately.
No way.
The two of you scampered through the sprinkles intertwined. You were all fancy-footed and carefully until suddenly you heard Randy cry out in surprise. She was covering her mouth and held what remained of her crumbling snow cone. A sugar cone. Wait, what? Yeah, sugar cone. The ice cream had fallen abandoned on the ground. Oh no, they're both fucking
ice cream
alive.
down!
It was one thing to have damp ice cream, but it was another it fell onto the ground altogether. Everyone stopped except for the sprinklers on their backs and back and forth paths and Terry broke. Terry breached the wall of water, sliding across the grass until she could get a leg up. On one knee, she lifted her snow cone and offering as if for the finest bouquet of roses. Aww.
Randy,
so
will you do
cute.
me the great honor? Oh,
Miranda lit up brighter than any star, giggling as she wiped the last streak of ice cream from her fingers. She took the offered snow cone, dark hair falling toward as she smiled softly at Terry. Terry bounced up from the ground, dusting off what grass had adhered itself to her leg.
you know, it was just ice cream. I would have survived.
Terry was aghast, her hand at her clavicle before she reached out for the snow cone.
All right.
Alright, I'm taking it back then. Nope, you already gave it to me.
Cove's eyes met yours as you turned in the direction of the boys, and he smiled, shrugging as if to say that he didn't know what to do either. The two were already invested in a new game of keep away until Cove stole it right out of their hands, only to be immediately dogpiled by both. You turned to search for Baxter to see if he was going to join the fray, but he was distracted. His attention was squarely fixed on Miranda and Terry, watching as they argued about whose snow cone it was and if Cove really had a stake in the matter.
I see.
He hummed, stroking his chin, and considered before brown eyes met yours, and the thoughtful expression gave way to a lax smile. He chuckled, gesturing to them as he gave you a look to ask if this was typical, an answer to which you readily proved a big thumbs up.
Hey, nice job.
I'm on it.
For Randy? Anything.
Terry beamed in reply, elbowing Cove in the ribs before the sudden hiss of another sprinkler rising from its earthy tone reminded her of where they were. Randy shotgunned the rest of Terry's snow cone. A champion was born. Terry responded by crushing the paper cone against her forehead, to Miranda's delight, though she did get some of the syrup in her eyes. Oh. And it wasn't long before the interlude was forgotten. Dashing and leaping resumed in earnest. But all good things must come to an end. Eventually the sprinklers retreated into the ground, and all that remained of the celebration was 5 dripping young adults. Alright, get back in the fucking car, all sopping wet. To his fucking rental car.
Ooh, I was just getting started. Should have gone
You know
longer.
what this reminds me of?
What?
When we were in Niagara Falls,
Stop.
and we got sopping wet, and then we had to get back in the car.
Oh, oh my
And then I had to go
God.
back to the Airbnb sopping wet beast.
Did anyone see you when you were like just like a sopping wet cat?
No, thankfully no, because my Airbnb, technically I was renting a room in a house where other people were renting rooms. And so we shared like the living room and the kitchen. Thankfully no one was awake at like 1 a.m. to see me sopping wet all over the floor.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was so fun.
I have never, like, I don't know, maybe it's because there was nobody there, or maybe it was raining or like really windy that day, but I have never been close to Niagara Falls like that and been sopping wet.
Yeah, I think again it was probably because it was like super windy, so all the mist, like it was like more than pouring rain. Like we
Yeah,
were
it
like
was literally
engulfed in
pouring.
water. Like it was crazy.
It was like a freaking hurricane out there.
Oh yeah, I've been on the Maid of the Mist, yes, but we weren't even on the Maid of the Mist. We were literally walking
No.
by the railing to get back to the parking lot, and
We
we
were
got
just
soaked like
so-
we were on the Maid of the Mist. Like,
Like, literally, it felt like we were taking a shower, like we just
Oh,
got out of
yeah.
a shower.
like I had layers that were soaking wet. Sometimes that wind do be. That's the thing. The wind do be blowing. That meteorologist was not lying.
Meteorologist was not lying.
Oh my god! And like it was,
Uh.
we had to take a break I think at one point because we couldn't see through the water and it was like hurting our eyes. Like we had to like
Yeah,
take cover.
we had to go into a cover to like a bus, like enclosed case. I
Yeah,
don't
it was
know,
like
bus
benches
something.
and shit and like a top. Like it was. Oh my god,
There was like nobody there. It was just us three.
that was so funny. I felt so bad for the car.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I'll never
And then,
forget that.
I remember we went out to this I don't think it was abandoned, but it looked
It looked like
abandoned.
an
abandoned
like
place.
huge like storage space.
Space. And Nico was like, let's go check it out.
And I think we saw some. It's not that we heard something or we saw something moving in the window or something like, and then we just fucking left. We're like,
Yeah.
all right, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough goals for today.
Oh, that was.
I don't
fun.
even know why we went there in the first place.
I think we were walking by it and it looked cool and abandoned, and I wanted to see it. That was fun.
Good
I want to
times.
go back to Niagara Falls. It's so fun.
To get drenched again.
To get drenched again. Also, I want to go to what was it, the fucking haunted house, and get pictures.
Oh
from
my
it.
god, yeah.
Yeah. Niagara Falls is just fun. I don't think I can ever get tired of going there.
Mm.
The landmark, not the city, of course. Unfortunately, yeah. I like the Canadian side. I've heard that like people who've gone to both are like the American side is and maybe it's fun too, but I just really like the Canadian side.
The Canadian side's better than the American side. It's like just rocks.
Yeah. I do like when it's nighttime and they put like the lights on the falls, so it's like lit up. It's very pretty.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's okay.
Honestly, I think it went on really long for oh my god, being a bunch of sprinklers.
Imagine like you look out your window and you see these jackasses like running through your sprinklers.
What are you doing in my lawn?
Literally, and they drop a fat ice cream cone like on the lawn.
Oh god.
The sun was situated almost perfectly halfway below the horizon. It was probably about time to call it quits for the day. Actually, you were really sure to call it when another breeze swept by and caught on the now soaked and very cold fabric of your clothes. Shivering in place, you watched as Terry and Miranda immediately found each other again, the girls clinging desperately to each other for warmth. They're so cute. I hope they end up together. Cove tugged on the hem of his shirt. I love how they like made it wet.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Pinching it almost from his body before allowing it to fall back in a wet slap.
I should have taken this off before I went in.
He promptly rectified that and took off his shirt, cheeks pinky with embarrassment when the girls took a break from being cold to whistle at him. Bro, that's my man's. What the fuck?
Guys, I wasn't wearing this at the beach. It's not different now.
Cove wrung the water out of it before swinging the shirt over his shoulders instead of pulling it on again.
And before anybody says anything, it's gonna be colder wearing that than not wearing it.
The damage of your shirt was as bad for you as it was for him. Sure, I have a wetsuit on. It'd be more comfortable carrying it than wearing it at this point.
I do regret that we did not bring our towels.
He ambled into the roadway to retrieve his abandoned shoes and socks. Baxter then returned to his car side, as did the entire gang. To the side, Terry and Miranda remained linked. Their knees were practically knocking into each other. You couldn't pry them apart with a crowbar if you tried. That had to be effective. Come here. I'm fucking cold. You made your way to Cove side, fitting yourself in the natural curve of his arms. He gladly wrapped an arm around your side, pulling you in at the hip. It was second nature to lean into him and listening for his heartbeat while savoring the little warmth he could offer.
Ooh.
Shut the fuck up.
Get a room.
Cove laughed but didn't make any effort to pull away from you either.
You and Randy first.
Get them.
Hey, that is not the
He
same.
literally proposed to her with a snow cone.
Literally.
She said, clinging even closer to her partner against the chill. Cove frankly gave up on that line of discussion.
Thanks.
Aw.
Thanks, Groovy. This is better already.
Baxter then gave the group a once over. Miranda and Terry were still chattering their teeth, and Cove, in spite of claims to the contrary, wasn't doing too hot either.
It would be no trouble if we were to return now. I surely don't mind if the car gets wet.
Randy and Terry vehemently and loudly disagreed with the suggestion.
It's a rental. They'll probably charge if we track all this water in.
You know.
Not exactly. We can at least wait until we're not dripping everywhere anymore, right? Even if we're not all the way dry.
He glanced at the car, then to the others. Baxter already started reaching for the door handle when they disagreed. He allowed his hand to fall onto his side.
I suppose it'd be tragic to ruin leather how the hell you say this word?
Upholstery?
Upholstery? Okay. Thank you. It is kind of you to be so considerate.
In that case...
I am certain my acquaintance will appreciate it.
Terry mouthed acquaintance to Miranda, then over to you, only to be met with equally confused shrugs from you both. Cove shook his head until water started flying from his hair. It splattered against the side of the car, already wet from the sprinklers earlier.
Hey. Cove?
He's like a fucking wet dog. There was nowhere to run from the spray, though you couldn't complain about being sprayed since that's how you got into the predicament.
It is fine. If it's fine with Baxter, then we can stay a while longer. Absolutely.
Staying longer didn't mean staying still, though. You and the others walked down the sidewalk, sandals and shoes squelching with the residual wetness as you made your way through the neighborhood. The neighborhood, but not your neighborhood.
So...
It's weird that it doesn't smell like the ocean.
Cove's nose crinkled as your head perked up. He smiled as if to confirm you two had been on the same page the minute he even mentioned it.
Oh, yes.
I find the scent of lawn clippings rather relaxing personally. Huh? Okay.
Your band of five continued to meander past the street sign, and Terry narrowly managed to avoid getting her shoes stuck in a gap in the concrete. You know something?
I know a lot of some things.
Miranda offered cheekily, grinning from ear to ear as she looked into your direction. Good work, Randy, but I don't know how we got from the beach to here.
The very important quest for ice cream, remember?
She swatted Baxter in the side with her free arm. He rubbed at the place, and you wondered if it actually hurt him, or if he was for dramatics.
Hey, you can add sprinkler running to your list of water-based summer activities. And since we're talking about your past water exploits...
Cove already tensed up before Terry even asked your question.
How'd you end up skinny dipping anyways?
She had the same question as I did. Cove dropped his face in his hand, shaking in disbelief while Miranda snorted a quiet oh my gosh. It was tempting to point out that Cove was the one who brought up water-based activities to get Baxter's sprinkler running in the first place, but he resisted the urge. Impressive segue, Terry.
What?
What? You guys aren't curious? I'm just asking what we are all thinking. The people want to know. I'm the people.
Baxter gave a subtle, non-committal shrug.
It is not nearly as intriguing you might imagine, as you might imagine. I believe it was about 3 years ago. I was vacationing at a lake cabin and was dared to by those in my company. A dare? As tale as old as time. I believe it was around midnight and the water was freezing, but it did make for a memorable trip. As I said, it isn't a particularly remarkable story.
When you heard the sparse details, it was easy to believe. That seemed exactly like the kind of thing that Baxter would do. He may be accommodating, but the minute that Cove challenged him to something, it was on.
More remarkable was today's adventure, I wager. It is not every day that I am able to go running through the sprinklers or chase an ice cream truck across the city. Much less with such delightful company.
Oh, we delightful company.
Oh, you.
Terry let one hand dangle daintily. Her opposite one was covering her mouth as she acted like one of many old ladies you could find around Sunset Bird. Baxter didn't reply, gazed out fixated on the sidewalk in front of him as you all continued ahead, one square of concrete after another.
No, truly. It reminded me I'm not nearly as old as I might sound.
He grazed the back of his neck with his hand, holding it there. Then he stared up at the sky, but it was clear he wasn't staring at the clouds. He was searching for something past it that wasn't there anymore.
Yet the last time I did anything of this nature was when I was a child, running around with my old friends and causing havoc to our poor, unsuspecting town.
Do you still keep in touch with your old friends?
No.
Aw.
We grew apart.
You could hear a pin drop in the pause he took. His voice grew softer, the clarity of his brown eyes loosening some of their luster as he continued.
We were not much of speaking even before I left for college.
When your eyes met with others, your own group of friends, you all frowned silently. For you and for them, it seemed near impossible to imagine the possibility of losing touch. Talking and hanging out with those people was as natural to you as it was to breathe. It wasn't the same for Baxter.
Don't worry on my behalf. It was only natural. I would not have expected anything else.
Jeez.
Those of you who are able to remain close with your longest friends are lucky people indeed.
Cove came to mind, and you found yourself looking at him unconsciously. He smiled. He smiled. It had been 10 years since you'd first seen his face. You hoped you could still see it in another 10 years. Oh, damn, okay. The twilight stroll continued until the sky turned dark and the street lamps flickered on. Even as the night fell, you thought there might still be a chance to cling to the thread of this day. Everyone was sufficiently dried enough, anyway, to not consider yourselves liabilities. When the vehicle came into view, Cove mumbled.
Staying outside in swimsuits until it's nighttime and getting ice cream. It really is like we're kids again. Not just like being kids, but kids on a vacation. Well, Baxter is on a vacation, but it's like someone's birthday or the 4th of July. Fireworks!
Baxter dropped his key, startled when Terry suddenly screamed.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
He waved off the apology, kneeling down to pick them up. That was the second time his attempt to open the car had been interrupted. Perhaps the third time would be the charm.
What was that about? We can't go home yet. I just remembered there were fireworks today.
Oh, shit. Cove and Miranda looked at one another before they turned their scrutiny onto Terry.
Huh?
For what? I think it's to celebrate an opening or something. We probably can't get into the real event, but we can see it with our eyes for free.
For free. She made 2 circles with her eyes, holding them up to her aforementioned eyes as she advanced closer to Cove, who lightly pushed her back with a hand.
They can't stop the public out from seeing explosions in the sky.
Seriously?
Really? Another last-minute rush trip?
Cove considered the suggestion but ultimately shook his head no.
I thought we were ready to head home. Oh, come on, Cove. Don't be a wet blanket.
Terry wrote him off, likely aware that Cove could not help being wet, turning to face you. Miranda and Baxter, the three that stood in the way of her night continuing for an hour or two more.
So?
And what about you, Groovy? Randy? Baxter? Wanna see some fireworks?
Terry continued on without waiting for an answer.
Isn't today all about summer experiences? What's more summer than fireworks?
Fine.
I guess they are fireworks. Alright, whatever. What's one more scene change?
I'm on it.
Yes, I knew this was a good idea.
In turn, 4 sets of eyes looked to Baxter as the driver. His answer made or broke the plan. He chuckled softly.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I'll go.
Honestly.
Generally, there's nothing better to occupy my time tonight. We better hurry, we might miss it.
Cole rolled his eyes but laughed. There was no time to lose. The fireworks were sure to start soon. If you didn't want to miss any part of it, that meant you needed to book it now. The gang hurried into the car and were slowly blessed with warmth after Baxter turned on the heater and it began to kick in. Terry wiggled in her seat, proudly announcing that she had the additional gift of the seat warmer to envy of everyone else in the car. However, the goal wasn't to sit there enjoying the modern accommodations, it was to get back out of the car as quickly as possible. It took a while to get out of the winding streets of the neighborhood, but eventually Baxter reached the freeway and zipped straight to the city. For the second time that day, you were met with the silhouettes of skyscrapers in the near distance, but now they were illuminated by explosive bursts of greens and purples.
It's starting. Oh no, are we going to miss it?
Baxter's hand rested on the gear shift, digits curling against the handle before he switched into the right lane to exit off the freeway.
Wait, the GPS said... No, there's somewhere outside the city that I intended to visit. I believe you could stop by there and catch the show. It's an unblocked viewing area.
Oh yeah.
Baxter, you are brilliant.
Woo!
Pedal to the metal. Unless you're already speeding, then don't go any faster.
Coven turned toward Miranda, but she was hardly paying attention, her hands covering her cheeks as she cheered. Baxter on, simultaneously advocating for traffic safety. Baxter tightened his grip on the wheel, changing a few more lanes before he exited and threaded through another tangle of local streets. Eventually, the car rumbled to a stop as a waterside path appeared in the dark. Ooh, that's so pretty. Everyone piled out one after the other, sprinting from the parking lot. Cove, Miranda, and Terry scrambled up the edge of the pass at the water's edge. Baxter stayed in the middle between the start and the end, folding his arms as he hovered behind the crew. His eyes were less fixated on the sights unfolding before you than they were focused on the other three. High in the sky and far away, it was the perfect way to watch fireworks, less crowded than it would have been in the city and quieter than it would have been there too. It was kind of funny. You and your group lived in or around the city almost all your lives, and it was Baxter who found this place for you to enjoy. Yeah, like, it's always tourists who find the best areas to kind of to go when you're like nearby. Like, you don't go to like the touristy areas or the event areas like a lot. Like, maybe sometimes, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Tourists tend to put in the effort of, to find scenic spots. People who could theoretically see something every day didn't always take the opportunities around them. Get out of my fucking head.
They know.
They fucking know. Randy pointed out a golden firework and beamed.
Woo!
That's so cool.
Terry held up a hand for a high five and Miranda obliged her. Terry whooped and shot you a smile.
Hey.
What color did you think the next one will be?
Without giving Baxter a glance, Cove answered immediately. I knew it.
Green.
It was orange. Baxter chuckled, but wasn't interested in calling Cove out for being wrong.
Is that your favorite color? Green?
That's...
It's one of them. I think that's nice. It matches you. And is yours black? That's one of them.
Cove smirked just a little and left the conversation there. He was glad to be spending time with you and tilted his head at spectacular multicolored fireworks above.
I think that's been my favorite so far.
He shot you another look and nodded, wanting you to move up closer in front of him. You could see the night's lights reflected on the water. Oh, that's so pretty. You took a moment to watch him, and the fireworks reflected in his eyes. Cove grinned like a child. Or like a kid. Let's hold his hand. You carefully slipped your hand into his and interlaced your fingers. He squeezed back gently with a warm smile on his face. You both were content to hold onto each other for the rest of the show. Cove's gaze drifted from the show of dazzling lights straight at you. He sighed dreamily. You didn't know when you last seen him so blissful. One explosion of color followed another, and the exuberance of your friends couldn't be measured. You'd seen fireworks before. They weren't anything new, but all those times you'd attended events before, it wasn't anything close to this. You nearly missed it, and it wasn't even a show, really, for you to see. That's what made it special, the effort it took for you to get there, the place you were watching from, and the people that you were watching with. The finale of fireworks took center stage. Dozens scattered across the sky, and the sparks of them descended into the sea below. It was as if they were possibly far away, distant years, and yet also close enough to reach out and touch them. In the back of your mind, you knew that there would likely never be another day exactly like that one. When it was over, it'd be over forever, and that made it a precious experience. You vowed to hold on to the memories, feelings, and this one single moment for as long as you possibly could. Oh, that was nice. We never got a damn crepe, but whatever.
And the fact that the image is a crepe.
That is a crepe. That's not ice cream. That cannot be ice cream.
That is not ice cream.
Misinformation.
Misinformation.
I'm never playing this fucking game again. I'm kidding.
Me when I spread misinformation online.
Literally. His is a popsicle. Is it supposed to be like ice cream?
I guess.
I
don't know.
Maybe it's like wrapped ice cream? Because his is a popsicle. So he has stuff that planning, like, wait, he has late shift, planning, mountain drinks, and sightseeing. The rest he does not have in common, so he's not there.
Oh.
Where I think for
I guess
the other one, what's his name again? The other kid.
Oh god.
I didn't think he wouldn't
Derek?
be here. Derek, yeah. Like Derek had all the same ones. It was just ones he was also involved in.
Right. So I guess like wherever they appear kind of intertwines with their route.
Yeah,
and
but this one he
DLC, I
has
guess.
his own he has a lot of ones I guess where Cove is not involved.
I see.
Alright, let's save. Alright, I'm assuming you want to call it there.
Yeah.
That was cute. That was fun.
Mhm.
I just imagine kind of doing that with my friends, and it seems so fun. I love unplanned stuff where people are like, all right, let's go here next, and everyone's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the fireworks was pretty nice too. I remember
Yeah.
when I went to California, I went to see fireworks in San Diego near the ocean. It was very nice.
That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I would go to there's the amusement park here, the Six Flags. There's fireworks days, and I remember my grandparents. There was it was I don't know why it was specific Italy fireworks. So I guess the colors of Italy. It was to celebrate Italy. So my grandparents really wanted to go, and we went with my grandfather. He couldn't really walk a lot, so we wheeled him around and just brought him around and ate with him, and then watched the fireworks together. And that was so I don't know. It was really fun, and I missed that. I want to go to the amusement park again.
Yeah, same.
That sounds nice. Yeah, it was very nice. If you ever come visit, I'll take you to the Six Flags. Josh and Belle, yeah. I didn't go in the summer. I always say I'm gonna, and then I don't, but yeah. All right, we'll call it there. Thank you for joining. Fuck yes, yes! And we'll get crepes. They have crepe stands there. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks you for chatting. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you, Belle, again for streaming with me. This means a lot. And I'm really glad you I've never had one. You've never had crepes? Oh, fuck
You've never
yeah.
had crepes?
Oh, we're getting crepes.
Oh my god.
Wait, have you had
We're
beaver
dragging
tail?
you to.
Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming. Have you had beaver tails? You can also get beaver tails there.
Wait, oh, yeah, I
Yeah, they
forgot
have
Beaver
beaver
Tails
tails
is
at the
Canada
amusement
exclusive.
park. Yeah, yeah. They probably are like, it's gotten popular enough where they beaver tail. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up on screen
Oh.
actually.
We need to have you try Beaver Tail at one point.
You will have
It's so
beaver
good.
tails. I think we had to make Joey try beaver tails when we went to con together, right?
I don't think he did get one though.
There were the trucks though. Oh my god, that was.
I don't think he got
Hold on,
one.
hold on. Let me change the. Wait, I'm just gonna. Oh, you're up there. What the fuck you doing up there? Hold on.
I'm vibing.
Sorry, I have to bring you down.
No.
Here.
Let me be on your shoulder.
Okay, I'll put you on my shoulder. Hold on.
Yay.
Like right there. There you go.
Hell yeah. I think the stream should just be like that now.
Yeah.
On your shoulder.
Wait, you know what's better? It's
What?
like basically. Hold on one second. Let me grab you. Get on my head. There you go.
Fuck
Now you're
yeah.
up there. Do you feel tall?
That's yes. Finally, I can finally.
I forgot how it should. I think when you mentioned you might come to con here, we started talking about you like, yay, Belle, and then I guess me and Ellie started talking about how tiny you are.
Oh my god,
You're so tiny.
y'all are gonna tower over me.
How did
That's
you
all I
get
know.
that tiny? But yeah, these are.
Why are you so small?
Why are you so fucking small? But yeah, it's basically like fried dough with like sugar and stuff on it, and like you could like put like bananas, and then some have Nutella, and then some have caramel and like nuts. This is like a Reese's one. This is an Oreo one. It's pretty good. Like, but my stomach can barely handle a full one. I have to get like half one. Fark, I want her. We will get you one when you come here. I swear to God, on God, we will get you a beaver tail. And it's sometimes randomly they'll have like, oh, there's a beaver tail parked in like a fucking like Canadian Tire like fucking parking lot. So my family will like make us like go there just for beaver tails. And like, look, they got one with pretzels on it. Oh, this is a s'mores one.
It's good shit.
It's pretty good. There's Smarties. Oh, this is I guess like a specific,
egg-
Easter egg.
Easter egg thing.
Yeah,
The
sorry, I
chocolate,
forgot I'm
I
not
don't-
sharing with you specifically. It's on stream, but yeah. And then like, I guess this one has like a nice like lemon. It's like a lemon dessert. One day, fuck yeah. Yeah, I implore you, if any non-Canadians, that's a legit beaver tail. I don't want. If any non-Canadians, this is the menu at every beaver tail place. It's like this. Yeah, any non-Canadians ever come to Canada, try to get a beaver tail. It's a really yummy dessert. Oh, this one has ice cream on it. Like a nice, it's like a beaver tail a la mode. That looks yummy. But yeah, that's definitely a treat I recommend. It could be very sugary, but I would suggest like try it at least once. It's very yummy. But yeah, with that, for real, we'll end now. And again, thank you for hanging out with me. If anyone here is not in the Discord, we have a Discord. I post when I'm live. I post my schedule. So yeah. All right, and then I'll next be live, I think, on Thursday with AI the Somnium Files again. We finally started this like second branching path of like from Musiki's Somnium. So we have a whole other half of the side to do, and then we're still blocked from one path, I think, from the other side. So we're getting that shit done. We're tackling Uchikoshi's Wild Ride.
Oh, we got a strap on. It is a wild ride.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you on Thursday. Wait, is it Tuesday? What day is it?
It's Tuesday.
Oh, fucking thank God. All right.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a fucking Tuesday. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
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 Bye.